Obviously, we can expect some crazy stuff in the gaming world. Let's talk specifically about PlayStation 4 owners. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on gameranx, 10 crazy things PS4 owners have done. Starting off at number 10, a gentleman by the name of Max set up a PlayStation and a 32-inch TV in McDonald's and decided, hey, I want to play Grand Theft Auto while I'm eating my McDonald's. Never mind the fact that setting all that stuff up in a McDonald's is definitely going to take significantly longer than the amount of time I would ever spend inside a McDonald's. I mean, just bringing it in and plugging in all of the AV cables. And I mean, it doesn't matter if you're using HDMI or what have you. This is more involvement that people generally want to have at a McDonald's. Like, get the McDonald's and go home, dude. It takes like 5 minutes to eat McDonald's food. You don't need your gaming system there. Also, you can get that delivered now. Just don't waste your time. This was a huge waste of time, man. At number 9, a PlayStation 4 gamer, a teen, actually had a pretty brilliant idea that worked once. When I say brilliant, I do not mean a thing you should repeat, just to make sure that you don't do anything brilliant by mistake. If you catch my meaning, this kid took a PlayStation 4 from the electronics department, walked over to the fruit section, weighed it, took a price tag from the weighing machine, and took it to self-checkout, scanned it as fruit, and bought it for $9. I am not going to lie. That's smart. It's also, however, very stupid, because when you're doing it, it's very obvious that you're weighing a PlayStation 4 in the fruit section. I have never eaten any black rectangular fruit out there, and if I saw such a thing, I would become very suspicious that I would become violently ill if I were to consume it. Also, fruit typically doesn't come in a box that says PlayStation 4 on it. Still, he got away with it the first time. It was just that the second time he decided, to try the scam again, which it's gonna be more obvious the second time. Duh. Like, you're returning to the scene of the crime. That's they say don't do that. Smart but dumb. Smart idea, dumb criminal? I don't know. Just don't do this. Don't ever do this. You're gonna get in trouble. It's gonna screw you. At number 8, a gentleman who wanted to get first in line for a PlayStation 4 back when it launched went way above and beyond the necessary actions of simply showing up before other people and getting in line first, instead opting to dress as a PlayStation Move controller, which I'm sure did not garner him any special treatment whatsoever. However, it did get him a lot of media coverage in Japan. People were like, oh yes, look at this guy. We can milk this. We can get something out of it. So, I mean, that's exactly what they did. Move Controller Man also got to meet Hideo Kojima as a result, which is a cool thing. He looked silly. He looked outwardly silly. It worked though, I guess. I mean, also kinda congratulations to you, sir. At number 7, a garbage man found a working PS4 in the trash. Meaning, some PlayStation 4 gamer was like, don't need this. Not only did he find the unit itself, but he found wires and a controller. So you'd think tossing something in the trash might possibly break it. Also, you might think the only reason you'd throw away a PlayStation 4 is because it's already broken. But I guess we're not talking about a perfectly fine amount of rationality here involving what we're talking about. Also, let's just be clear, this guy streams himself collecting garbage, so it's not as if that's the least silly part about this. The streamer's name is Trashman, where the A in man is replaced with a 4, and he Twitch streams, so we're talking about somebody familiar with the gaming community. And at this point, probably a PS4 gamer as well, on account he got a free PS4. So, I mean, 2 PS4 gamers did a kind of weird thing in this one, without ever knowing each other or talking to each other. At number 6, a 21-year-old PlayStation 4 gamer ended up reporting a murder through the PlayStation 4 communication services. What happened was he heard his father yell, "She has effing stabbed me." So he went down to see what was going on and, well, he was dead. Which, I mean, this one is not jovial in any way. This is just scary. He couldn't find a phone to call anybody about this. So he went to PlayStation 4 and told his friend online, please call 999, which is the equivalent of 911 in the UK. Mom stabbed dad and he's dead. Please, please, please. Which is, I just want to reiterate, awful. He had to recount all of this during a murder trial as well. This gamer's sister came in and said, "Why isn't he breathing?" The mom apparently looked back at her and said, "Shut up. That's it. Just shut up." Now, I don't care what was going on. This is an extremely messed up situation. No kid should ever have to see their parents' murdered body. That is just awful. And at number 5, a PlayStation Network user got permanently banned for claiming his dad works for Sony. Like, out of all the things that you could get totally permanently banned for, like saying, "My dad works at Sony, he will get you banned," which is, by the way, an exact quote of what he said. It really ruffled Sony's feathers. They sent this message to him: "Pretending to be or by association able to influence an employee of Sony, its affiliates, third-party partners is against our code of conduct. You will no longer be able to access online multiplayer, the PlayStation Store, and other network features. Your account will not be reinvested at any point. We take the decision to ban account very seriously, and we only do so after one of our moderators has carefully analyzed the situation. PlayStation support therefore cannot overturn this moderation decision." Like, it's such a dumb thing to do too, like, "My dad works at Sony." No, don't do that. That's silly. No one's gonna believe you anyway. And on top of that, they clearly do not take kindly to it. And at number 4, a teenager was sentenced to 40 years in prison for shooting a man dead because of his PlayStation 4. So Kayla Dixon and her boyfriend Nathaniel Vivian responded to a Craigslist ad a gentleman by the name of Daniel Zeitz had posted, and went acting as though they were going to buy it, and then held him up at gunpoint because they wanted the PlayStation 4. Maybe they wanted to sell it on Craigslist. I would think that they know better though, because they shot a guy dead who was doing that. Implication is they wanted to play PlayStation so bad, they killed a guy. She confessed to killing him, saying this: "I would trade anything to bring Daniel back, but I know I can't. I know he had plans. I wish I could tell him I'm so sorry for what happened, but I can't." Like, I think that's heartbreaking because obviously we're not really designed to kill other people, especially over trivial crap. But unfortunately, it happens from time to time. And really, I kind of just feel bad for all parties involved. Whatever makes you think that it's okay to do that, and then realizing that you messed up on that level, and then essentially saying that you regret it more than anything and would do anything to change it, like, you killed a guy over PlayStation. Just don't do that in the first place. At number 3, this guy, Devin L. Smith, has just done some of the coolest crap out there. Like, we've talked about it before, but his God of War redesign of the PlayStation controller, which is like overtly amazing looking, got him a very large amount of attention. I mean, he's done it for a lot of different games, but as far as God of War and various other PlayStation games, to call his work anything other than amazing and maybe even a little obsessed, I think would not be paying tribute to the amount of labor that seems to go into simply designing and then creating physically these controller mods. In all honesty, yeah, end of the line designs, Devin L. Smith. Check him out. He is amazing. At number 2, this PlayStation 4 gamer turned a treadmill into a controller that worked specifically with Death Stranding. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, why would someone do that? Well, the primary criticism, according to one of the people who had to try out the controller of the game, was that it was a walking simulator, and a treadmill as a controller would be the most realistic control input device that one could have without being fully immersed in a VR simulation that, I don't know, controls for gravity or whatever. So he went about creating this elaborate device which made it so if you ran on the treadmill, Norman Reedus would run in the game. Because you couldn't actually use the treadmill with a motor, you had to actually push against the treadmill. It took a lot of effort, and it got everybody who attempted using it sweating profusely within just a few moments. In fact, it looks like perhaps one of the least fun ways to play what I consider a pretty good game. I would not do this. It is elaborate, and it seems to not really have a lot of benefits other than being good cardio, which might be a decent enough reason for more than a few people, but not for me. And finally, at number 1, some guy made this ridiculous, like, very large fan table thing. It was a really cool project by a gentleman calling himself Matty the Cook. In all actuality, this thing was a PlayStation 4 cooling mod in which he made some holes in the top, added some more heat sinks, and just put a ridiculous fan on the bottom of the PlayStation 4, as well as some legs and some temperature reading devices, thermometers they call them. It looks like a joke, honestly. It's very silly looking. However, it works really well too. A YouTube channel by the name of Fanless Guy, who does this type of mod, also made a wood and stone PlayStation 4 cooling mod, which is, I mean, it's silly. The video for it has this very calming music, and it uses a stone to encapsulate all of the machinery and some wood and some heat sinks, and it works. Don't get me wrong, like, it keeps the temperature about the same as the normal PlayStation fan, and it's definitely aesthetically pleasing. Somebody who would like the music that the video has in it would definitely like what it looks like too. So you have two extremes there: ridiculous huge fan and no fan. A quick bonus for you, a mod that somebody did for, I guess, adding more storage to their PS4. We've talked about it before. They made this Nintendo cartridge 2.5-inch hard drive swapping device where they've got all these Nintendo cart looking hard drives that they can just swap out, and it's cool. I like it. It's neat. It may not be the most practical thing of all time. However, it's cool. So what did you think? Any of this too crazy for you? Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week. The best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription. So click subscribe. Don't forget to click the notification bell. And as always, thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter, Falcon the Hero. We'll see you next time right here on gameranx.